I have done absolutely nothing else since the last video to the black car. It's still together, so oops. This is where I'm at with the manifold. I've done at least 5 more coats of gel coat, sanded it with 180, then 220, then 600, or no, then 400, then 600, then I think 800, and then 1,000 or 1,500, and then it got compound buffed. The stupid buffers over there upside down, pads in the washer, wax, and cleaner wax, and now I am working on mold release wax. This is super fun. My arms are tired. What I did was I'm making the dividers. Cut the cardboard. Lay it out. Trace it. Now you got a line. Now I'm going to cut that. And then I'll bend it right here. That plastic will be my divider. It'll all make sense once I actually start doing it and I have a couple dividers on there. So hold tight. This is that plastic that I was cutting. Well, the cardboard that I was cutting. I don't remember which one I left off on. Tape, hot glue, stays in place. This tape isn't really needed. I just wanted it to keep the gel coat from overflowing into nothing. I used Play-Doh to fill in the small tiny gaps, mainly because I didn't have any filleting wax, and you can't get it from the UK, and I was impatient. So what happens is this thin stuff goes on after gel coat. Then this stuff, which is left over, this stuff is everything is from Composite Envisions. This is just like reinforcement mat. I doubt you'll be able to see down in there, but I had this stuff which was left over from fixing my canoe, so I'm going to use it on this part of the mold first. You put this stuff down after the gel coat first to stop what's called bleed through, and it basically just means that you'll see the strands through the gel coat once the mold's done if you don't do a fine cloth. So I guess here goes nothing, because if I fuck this up, then everything I did in the last video is for nothing. And I have about 60 hours in building this thing, so hopefully it works. I don't know how much I included of me doing the mold making, but even if I recorded it all, I'm not gonna include it all. That's where I'm at. The mold is essentially done. I put these sticks here as like a last minute just because I had an extra fiberglass. And I figured it was just a straight flat surface, so why not? All these flanges I'm gonna drill and put bolts with washers through. And then we're gonna grind this off and try and open it and see what happened. I don't know if it's going to actually open or if it's just going to destroy the manifold, but it is somewhat promising because when I was hacking this part, it kind of split there. So hopefully it comes apart how it's supposed to. I don't know what you can see from over there, but I put a whole bunch of bolts in this. It's probably more than what I need. I'm gonna take the jigsaw and cut the line smoother. I found my tripod, so I was able to put you guys a little closer. I'm gonna speed through getting all these bolts out, but I'm gonna leave the camera going just in case it starts popping apart. Let's see what happens. Alright, it's not the end of the world. It's not the greatest scenario, but it's not the end of the world. Wait. Son of a bitch. We could start again. I'm not going to. It's fucking destroyed now. Just shove the screwdriver through it. Well, that's very disappointing. So, in some parts it came apart, in some spots it didn't. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's a learning experience, I guess. I'm not gonna keep fucking with this. I might a little bit here and there, but at this point I think I'm just gonna make something out of aluminum and be done with it and revisit this later on at a different date. The plan was to do carbon fiber, so it's very, very annoying that I don't get to do that. Alright, so I lied. It's pretty fucked up in some spots. Couple gouges. It's wavy in areas. You can see right there the different coats of gel coat. But we're gonna try and fix it and see if we can use it to make a part. This is way more promising than what it was. I will have to Google and see if I can find a different release agent. Maybe one that's not a wax or something. for whenever I make the final part. But that's the end of this for now. Kind of gave away the secret in the last clip, so I didn't see a point in hiding it anymore. This is the mold. I repaired it. It's not perfect, but I figured there was a chance that it wasn't going to work out in the end anyways, so my thought process is that the primer is super thin, so if the resin won't detach from the primer, I can always sand the primer off of the top of the part and then put another coat of resin on top of it, and it'll look like it never happened. This is what I had originally. That did not work, obviously. So I bought this as well. It's called a PVA. And it basically creates a film over top of the wax. So you have the mold release wax, and then you have the PVA, and then you have to wait like 2 hours after you put the PVA on before you can even start with the epoxy. And it just creates a barrier, and then you can wipe the PVA off with water. So what I got was the PVA, super fine brush, obviously cutting supplies, tape, rough brushes for kind of poking, sponge brushes. I don't know if I'm going to need those. Obviously a scale, measuring cups, 2 different cups. This stuff, first off, I bought this on accident because on the website it had a picture of chopped carbon fiber. So I bought 2 pounds of it, and it's carbon fiber reinforcement fibers. So I have it. I'm gonna use it. I bought 2x2 twill. It's pretty thin. I got the thinner stuff so that I could go around corners and edges really easily. The only bad part is whenever you do, because it's so thin, it distorts easily. But you will not see it. I have this left over from a previous project. It is much thicker stuff. The plan is for the layer that you're going to see is going to be chopped carbon fiber. And then what I'll do is I'll put the chopped carbon fiber down, and then I'll put this down here in the large flat area and on the back in the large flat areas. Try and do a little bit here on the sides where it's more flat, but it's not going to curve very well. So that's why I got this, which is the thinner stuff. I can do 2 or 3 layers of this, and then this stuff I can do here in these corners. Obviously you only see the chopped fiber from the outside, but something like this hard turn, you're never going to get woven fiber into that hard turn and to stick. So you use the chop or the ground up stuff, and it basically reinforces that edge. And I also want this to be pretty thick right here because this is where the throttle body bolts on. I'm also going to build some up on the back because that's where my ports are going to be. So chop fiber, thick 2x2 twill, the thinner 2x2 twill. There's actual weights to these. I just can't remember what they are right this second. Some of the reinforcement throughout, but mainly in sharp edge areas. Another layer of 2x2 twill, maybe 2 layers. And then I bought extra vacuum bagging material just because, but I don't know if I'm gonna need it. This will go on first after the carbon fiber with the resin, or it'll go on, all the carbon fiber stuff will go on, and then the resin will go on as it goes on, obviously. And then this is called peel ply. And then on top of the peel ply goes a breather cloth. And then all of it will go in this massive vacuum bag, which I will then vacuum with my shop vac. I bought a thin epoxy. It has a slow cure hardener. Oh shit, don't break that. Specifically so that I can have a long time to work on it, because I am hand laying this stuff. The epoxy hardener that I got, or the resin hardener, is it's a 45-minute work time with a 5-hour set time. It's like 5 to 6 hours, and then it's fully cured in like 24 to 48 hours. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do this, vacuum bag it, and then forget about it for 2 days, which is gonna be super hard. So wish me luck. It's midnight tonight, or right now, so I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow after work. I just got everything set out. I'm gonna start trimming some pieces and whatnot and get them laid in tonight. That way, whenever I get home from work tomorrow, I can come directly in the garage and start working on it and hopefully get it all done and vacuum bagged tomorrow. Hopefully everything works out and it doesn't work out how my mold did, because that sucked. We'll see. All right, it's the next day. I got all this stuff prepped and the PVA put down. I'm actually having a problem with it not adhering, whereas the mold wouldn't release. So that was where it was setting, and I brushed it more. I'm not worried about the surface being perfect because this is water soluble, and I can always do a resin coat on top of the part once it's done to make it smooth. Got all my stuff cut, chop strands, all that stuff. I'm not really gonna talk through this, and it's gonna be quite a bit of time lapse. You can feel free to skip forward if you want. I am gonna time lapse it all though. I'll probably double or triple speed it. That way you can still somewhat see. But for those who are curious and do want to see it, I'm going to leave it. So, but it's going to be probably a good 10 minutes or so of time lapse. So feel free to skip if you want. where we are. We're getting ready to peel ply and breather cloth and then vacuum bag it. You'll see by me kicking the camera a bunch of times it was a pain in the ass. I do not recommend doing this. It sucks. So yeah, hopefully it comes out well, but we'll find out in 2 days. The instructions on my resin kit said 24 to 48 hours. It has been roughly 44-ish. So we're going to attempt to open it. Hopefully I picked halfway decent camera view. My vacuum bag didn't seal, which is very unfortunate. But hopefully it came out okay. It's coming loose.
Whoa.
I'll be in a second, bud.
Seeing a lot of gray.
A little bit of primer on there, but oh, this is exciting. Come on. You know you want to let go. Let go. Oh, there's a scratch there. Ha ha ha! Got some spots to fix. It's okay. It's okay. So far, so good. This side I kind of lifted on accident. So I'm really hoping. Oh, hey, the top's gonna come first. All right. Really hoping this other side isn't destroyed. All right, it could have been worse. Oh. Spot the... Oh, that's the stuff. That's fine. That's more release. All right, last piece. Come on, I don't want to fuck it up. Oh God, it's so light. No fucking way. What? Oh my God. It actually fucking worked. Sorry for the noise. My neighbors are stupid and playing with fireworks. Let's see. Can you see the scale? No, you cannot. before trimming, it is 800 grams. We're in American units. £1 12 ounces. It's crazy. Alright, it didn't come out perfect. Obviously I started sanding right there already, but as soon as you get it wet, you can see there's obviously some imperfections. I knew there was gonna be, so I'm gonna sand it with 180, and then we're gonna do another coat of resin over top of it, and then we'll finish sand that out, and then we'll have our final part. But minus the primer spots, it looks pretty cool to me. Now let's do this. I'm gonna close this video out now, mostly because I want to post pictures of this to social media, and I can't until I post the video. So the only thing that I haven't done with this is just like 2 or 3 coats of resin over the top to make it look cool. So that's what I'm doing now. Just doing each corner, and then I gotta sand it all down smooth. So getting ready to flip it and do this side over here. But that's gonna be that. I'm sure that I'll post pictures or a video clip of it in the beginning of the next one. We're gonna talk about what I'm gonna do for the lower intake manifold part, and possibly swap the motor finally out of that. But it's supposed to rain all next week, so I don't know yet. Honestly, at this point, I am just glad that it is technically over, because that was a lot of work and it was very difficult, and I don't ever want to do it again. So hopefully it was at least entertaining.